Are you experiencing a profound sense of weariness, even disillusionment, as you navigate later life? Many believe this fatigue is simply a part of aging. But what if it's a hidden burden you've been carrying for decades? A silent weight you may not even know is there. This video is about the quiet power of letting go. It explores how clinging to unfulfilled expectations, the life you thought you should have, might be the very thing draining your energy and dimming your spirit. We often see giving up as a weakness, but what if for women in later life, releasing these expectations isn't surrender? It's the most courageous act of self-reclamation. Imagine shedding the weight of unspoken disappointments and feeling truly aligned with yourself, even as life changes. This is not about giving up on your dreams. It is about understanding how the unseen burden of past ideals can silently steal your joy. This message is an invitation to gently unclench your grip, to reclaim your energy, and to discover a profound sense of peace that is waiting for you in the beautiful, unwritten chapters of your life.
There is a ghost that haunts many of us in later life. It is not a frightening ghost. It is a quiet, sad ghost. The ghost of the life we thought we would have. It is made of all the should-haves and all the could-haves, the silent companions that whisper to us in quiet moments, reminding us of a path not taken. And this haunting has a hidden cost. It creates a silent, invisible weight, the weight of unmet dreams. It is like carrying a heavy backpack that you have worn for so long you have forgotten it is even there. But your soul remembers. Your soul feels the weight of every stone inside it. The stone of the career you didn't pursue, the stone of the relationship that ended, the stone of the person you thought you would be by now. And carrying this weight, day after day, year after year, is profoundly exhausting. This is why the fatigue you feel is not just physical. It is not the kind of tired that a good night's sleep can fix. It is a psychological fatigue, a soul fatigue. It comes from the constant, low-level drain of comparing your current reality to a past, idealized future. I once knew a woman. Let's call her Eleanor. She had built a good life in the city, a successful career, a loving family, but her unfulfilled dream was to live in a small cottage by the sea. Every time she saw a picture of the ocean, every time she read a book set in a coastal town, a quiet ache would surface. She wasn't consciously unhappy with her life, but the constant comparison, the shadow of that other unlived life, was a quiet theft of joy. It made her good life feel not quite good enough. And that feeling, that subtle, persistent feeling of not enough, is one of the heaviest stones we can carry. So why do these old dreams have such power over us? Why do they feel so heavy so many years later? The great psychologist Carl Jung offered a profound map for this inner territory. He taught that our unfulfilled expectations do not simply fade away. They become a part of our unconscious. They become a shadow, the shadow of expectation. Jung understood that the psyche is always striving for wholeness, but when a significant part of our life's dream is left unlived or unmourned, it creates a split within us. There is the conscious self, the one who is living this life right now, and then there is the unconscious shadow self, the one who is still living in that idealized future. It is as if you are trying to navigate your life while holding two different maps at the same time. One map shows the real city you are in, with its real streets and real challenges. The other map shows the beautiful, perfect city you wished you were in. Trying to read both maps at once creates a constant, low-level internal conflict. A part of you is always looking over your shoulder, wondering if you are on the wrong road. This inner conflict is the hidden source of the deep disillusionment and fatigue so many of us feel in later life. Resisting the reality of your life takes an immense amount of psychic energy. It is the energy of regret, the energy of longing, and it keeps us tethered to a past that no longer exists, preventing us from fully inhabiting the present moment. This is not a flaw in your character. It is a profound and universal human experience. The question is not how to erase the past. The question is how to release its weight. Our culture often sees letting go as an act of failure or resignation, a sign that you have given up on your dreams. But Jung saw it differently. He saw it not as giving up, but as a courageous and necessary act of reclaiming your own life. It is the moment we learn the quiet, profound power of the unclenched hand. But how do we find the courage to do that? How do we begin to release a grip we may not even know we are holding? That is the sacred work we will explore next.
So, we stand at this sacred threshold. We feel the weight of the unlived life. We understand, intellectually, that it is draining our energy. But the question remains, how do we let go? How do we release something that has become a part of our identity? This is the journey of learning the courage to unclench. I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine you are holding a single heavy stone in your hand. You have been clenching your fist around it for so long that your muscles have forgotten how to relax. You have mistaken the feeling of this tight grip for the feeling of control, of strength. That stone is an unfulfilled expectation. And letting go is not about throwing the stone away in anger. It is the gentle, conscious, and sometimes painful process of simply uncurling your fingers one by one and allowing the stone to rest on your open palm. It is about changing your relationship with it. You are no longer defined by the struggle of holding it. You can look at it, acknowledge it, and then gently set it down. This is a profound act of self-compassion, and it begins by debunking a powerful myth, the myth that letting go equals giving up or failure. Our culture celebrates tenacity. It celebrates holding on. But there is a deep wisdom in knowing when the battle is over. And the battle against a past that cannot be changed is a battle that can never be won. To continue fighting it is to condemn yourself to a lifetime of exhaustion. Letting go in this context is not an act of weakness. It is the act of profound wisdom. It is the ultimate act of self-preservation. So, how do we practice this? How do we begin to uncurl our fingers? It starts with a gentle, non-judgmental acknowledgement. You cannot release what you do not first acknowledge. Find a quiet moment, and maybe in a journal or just in your own mind, gently identify one of those stones, one unfulfilled expectation. Maybe it's the career you thought you would have. Maybe it's the kind of mother you thought you would be. Maybe it's a creative talent you never pursued. Just name it. Bring it into the light. And then allow yourself to feel the grief that comes with it. This is a crucial step. We often try to bypass the sadness, But grief is the cleansing rain that allows us to release. Allow yourself to mourn the life you didn't have. It is not self-pity. It is a sacred act of honoring your own story. All of it. I remember working with a man in his 60s, a kind and gentle soul who had always dreamed of being a musician. Life took him down a different path, a stable, secure, but uninspired career in accounting. He carried the ghost of his guitar with him for 40 years. It was a source of quiet shame and regret. His first step in letting go was not to forget about music. It was to finally buy a beautiful second-hand guitar, place it in his living room, and allow himself to feel the profound sadness of the dream he had let go. He cried. He grieved for the young man he once was. And in that grief, something shifted. The guitar was no longer a symbol of his failure. It became a beautiful object in his home. He learned to play a few simple chords, not to become a rock star, but for the simple joy of it. He had unclenched his fist. He had set the stone down. And in its place, he found peace. That is the story of letting go. It is not about erasing the dream. It is about releasing the burden of the dream. It is about transforming the energy of regret into the energy of acceptance. And this brings us to the next practical step. After you have acknowledged the dream and grieved for it, the work is to consciously and repeatedly bring your attention back to the present moment, back to the life that is here, now. When you find your mind drifting back to that what-ifness, gently and without judgment, say to yourself, that was then, this is now. And then find one small thing in your current reality to be grateful for. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your morning coffee, the sound of a loved one's voice. This is not a trick. It is a retraining of your attention. You are teaching your mind that joy and fulfillment are not located in a phantom past. They are available to you, right here, right now, in the small, real, and beautiful moments of the life you actually have. This is the quiet revolution of acceptance. And it is in this acceptance that we finally begin to reclaim ourselves.
As you begin to practice this gentle art of letting go, something profound happens. You begin the sacred work of reclaiming your authentic later self. Think of your life as a garden. For so long, a part of that garden has been overgrown with the weeds of regret and shaded by the ghosts of what might have been. There was no room for new things to grow. When you release your grip on those old expectations, you are not creating an empty patch of dirt. You are clearing the soil. You are letting the sunlight in. And it is in this newly cleared space that unexpected joys and opportunities can finally begin to sprout. This is the freedom and clarity that emerges. You are no longer living a life divided, torn between the reality of the present and the fantasy of the past. You become fully present in the life you actually have. And when you are fully present, you begin to notice the small, quiet beauties that were there all along, but were invisible to you when you were looking elsewhere. The deep satisfaction of a conversation with a friend, the simple peace of watching a sunset, the quiet joy of a new hobby. These are not small things. These are the things. This is the fabric of a life well lived. And you begin to align with your evolving self, not the self you thought you'd be. The woman you are at 50 or 60 or 70 is not the same woman who had those dreams at 20. You have a depth of wisdom now, a resilience, a self-knowledge that your younger self could not have imagined. To continue holding yourself to the standards of that younger self is a profound act of self-betrayal. Reclaiming your authentic later self is about honoring the woman you have become,
with all her scars, all her wisdom, and all her unique beauty. It is about asking, what does this woman, the one I am today, truly desire? What brings her peace? What makes her feel alive? The answers may surprise you. They may be quieter, simpler, and more profound than the loud ambitions of your youth. This is the beautiful, sacred work of embracing the unwritten chapter. Your life is not a story that has already been finished. The past chapters are written, they cannot be changed, but you are standing at the beginning of a new one, and the pages are gloriously, beautifully blank. For so long you may have been looking back, trying to edit the previous chapters. The invitation now is to turn the page, to pick up the pen, and to begin writing this chapter with intention, with presence, and with love. This begins with cultivating a mindset of acceptance. Acceptance for what is rather than what isn't. This is not a passive resignation. It is an active, courageous choice. It is the choice to stop fighting with reality, to stop wishing the landscape of your life were different, and to instead begin exploring the landscape you are actually in, to look for its hidden streams, its quiet groves, its unexpected vistas. Every life contains beauty. The work is to have the eyes to see it. And then you can begin to look forward, not to a fantasized future, but to the rich, real experiences that are still possible in this new phase of life. What new seeds can you plant in your newly cleared garden? Is there a skill you've always wanted to learn? A place you've always wanted to visit? A way you've always wanted to contribute to the world? The energy that you were once using to hold on to the past is now free. It is a powerful, creative energy that you can now invest in the present and the future. This is a powerful invitation to redefine success. Success is no longer a destination you failed to reach in the past. Success becomes the quality of your presence in the here and now. It is the peace you find in an ordinary moment. It is the joy you feel in a simple connection. It is the profound satisfaction of living a life that is aligned with your own evolving truth. This is a success that no one can ever take away from you. It is a success that is not dependent on outcomes. It is a success that is found in the very act of living, breathing, and being, right here, right now. And so we arrive at the quiet shore of acceptance. We began this journey together, feeling the silent weight of unmet dreams, the exhaustion that comes not from doing too much, but from holding on too tightly. We stood before the ghosts of what if, and we chose not to fight them. We chose to honor them, and then, gently, lovingly, let them go. We learned that this act of release is not surrender. It is a courageous act of self-reclamation. It is the wisdom of the unclenched hand. We discovered the sacred work of acknowledging our grief, of retraining our attention to the beauty of the present moment, and of finding joy not in the life we thought we should have, but in the life that is ours right now. This is the journey from psychological fatigue to profound inner peace, from being haunted by the past to being fully present in your own life. Please know this. The art of letting go is a practice, not a destination. There will be days when the ghosts of old expectations whisper to you again. That is okay. Each time you notice them and gently bring your attention back to the here and now, you are strengthening the muscle of presence. You are choosing peace again and again. Your worth was never located in the dreams you did or did not achieve. Your worth is inherent. It is in your breath. It is in your being. And the peace you crave is not waiting for you in a different past. It is waiting for you right here, in the simple, beautiful acceptance of what is. You are not a collection of your past disappointments. You are an unwritten chapter,
full of possibility. If this message of release has resonated with you, if you feel a sense of lightness, of permission, I invite you to anchor this feeling in the present moment. Share in the comments below one small, beautiful thing in your life that you are grateful for, right now, just as it is. It could be the cup of tea in your hands, the view from your window, a memory of a kind word. Your simple act of gratitude is a powerful step. It is a declaration of peace, and it could be the very thing that helps someone else find the courage to see the beauty in their own life too. And as you begin to enjoy this newfound space in your mind and your heart, I want to prepare you for the next layer of this journey. Because know this, even as you begin to release these mental burdens, your body might still carry a profound physical fatigue. In our next video, we will discover why this exhaustion often isn't just about aging or stress, but is a sacred summons from your psyche, a deep wisdom your body is desperately trying to share with you. You will learn to listen to the language of your own body and uncover the powerful messages hidden within your tiredness. Thank you for sharing this quiet space of release with me. Be gentle with yourself. You are free.